The dazzling spires of the Galactic Conclave gleamed in the twin suns as Commander Valara, a seasoned Xenos military officer, strode through the ornate halls. Her piercing gaze scanned the faces of the gathered delegates, reading the mixture of concern and thinly veiled dread that permeated the atmosphere. Valara reached the central dais, her scaled features set in a grim expression. "Esteemed members of the Conclave, I bring grave tidings from the Rim." She paused, allowing the weight of her words to settle over the chamber. "Our outposts have gone dark, one by one, and the reports we've received are deeply unsettling." A murmur of unease rippled through the assembled representatives. Valara raised a clawed hand, commanding their attention. "Our scouts have detected massive energy readings and the presence of unidentified ships in the affected regions. We believe we are facing a threat unlike any we have encountered before." Councillor Zoran, a towering Ursian with a deep, rumbling voice, leaned forward, his brow furrowed. "What of the refugee fleets? Have they been able to flee the compromised systems?" Valara's expression darkened. "That is the worst part, Councillor. The refugee ships, they are simply vanishing without a trace." The chamber erupted into cries of dismay and outrage, the delegates voicing their alarm and demands for answers. Valara waited patiently for the uproar to subside, her piercing gaze sweeping across the room. "We must act swiftly and decisively," she continued once the din had settled. "I propose we establish a joint task force to investigate these incursions and bolster our defenses along the Rim. Time is of the essence." Councillor Lyra, a regal Asari whose features were etched with concern, raised her hand. "And what of the humans? Surely they must be aware of these developments. We should reach out to them, pool our resources in this time of crisis." Valara's jaw tightened imperceptibly. "The humans, they have been conspicuously silent. Our efforts to contact their homeworld have met with no response." A hush fell over the chamber, the weight of Valara's words hanging in the air like a pall. Unease and uncertainty gripped the conclave as they contemplated the looming threat and the unsettling silence from the human homeworld. Zoran's deep rumble broke the silence. "Then we must proceed without them. The safety of our civilizations is at stake. I second Commander Valara's proposal for a joint task force. We must act now, before it is too late." Murmurs of agreement rose from the delegates, and Valara nodded grimly. The Galactic Conclave had been shaken to its core, and the fate of their worlds now hung in the balance. As the council members began to hash out the details of their plan of action, a sense of foreboding permeated the air, for they knew that the true nature of this new enemy remained shrouded in mystery. The bustling city of Ethera, a shining jewel in the human interstellar empire, was usually a hive of activity, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of humanity. But within the confines of the Ethera Institute of Advanced Sciences, an air of tension and urgency had settled over the once tranquil halls. Lyra, a brilliant young scientist whose sharp mind and unwavering determination had earned her a reputation far beyond her years, was hunched over her workstation, her brow furrowed in deep concentration. The holo displays before her flickered with complex equations and intricate simulations, the product of countless sleepless nights spent grappling with the elusive mysteries of quantum physics. Come on," she muttered under her breath, her fingers dancing across the touchscreen with practiced precision. "There has to be a way to stabilize the quantum matrix. I know it's there, I just have to find it." Lyra's mentor, the renowned Dr. Evelyn Thorne, approached the young scientist's station, her expression a mixture of pride and grave concern. "Lyra, I'm afraid I have news that requires your immediate attention." Lyra's head snapped up, her eyes wide with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. "What is it, Dr. Thorne? Has something happened?" Thorne's lips tightened into a thin line, the lines of worry etched deeply into her weathered features. "We've received an urgent transmission from the Galactic Conclave. They're requesting our assistance, Lyra." Lyra's brow furrowed, her mind racing to comprehend the implications of such a request. The Conclave. What could they possibly want from us? Surely they don't require our help in matters of interstellar diplomacy or military strategy. Thorn's gaze darkened. It seems the Rim outposts have gone dark, and the Conclave suspects a new formidable enemy is at work. They believe this threat poses a danger to all civilizations in the galaxy, and they're asking for our expertise in investigating these disturbances. Lyra's breath caught in her throat as the gravity of the situation became clear. But the Prometheus drive. If we share that technology with the Conclave, the balance of power could shift dramatically. Humanity has guarded that secret closely, and for good reason. Thorn placed a reassuring hand on Lyra's shoulder, her expression softening. I know, child. I understand your concerns, but we can't ignore this call for aid. If this new enemy truly poses an existential threat to all we hold dear, then we may have no choice but to intervene. Lyra's gaze hardened with determination, her mind already racing with the implications and potential consequences of their involvement. Then we'll give them what they need, but on our terms. The Prometheus drive is humanity's most closely guarded secret, and we can't afford to let it fall into the wrong hands, no matter the cost. Thorn's lips curled into a small, proud smile. That's my girl. I'll prepare the delegation. We leave for the Galactic Conclave at first light. As Lyra returned to her work, a newfound sense of purpose and resolve fueled her efforts. The fate of the galaxy now rested on the shoulders of humanity, and she would do whatever it took to ensure their survival, even if it meant venturing into the unknown. The air in the Galactic Conclave's war room crackled with a palpable tension as Lyra and Dr. Thorn took their place before the assembled delegates. Counselor Valara and the other alien leaders listened with rapt attention, their eyes widening with a mixture of fascination and trepidation as the young human scientist delved into the details of the revolutionary Prometheus drive technology. The Prometheus drive, Lyra began, her voice clear and confident, allows for instantaneous, long-range travel through the quantum slipstream. By manipulating the very fabric of space-time, we can bypass the limitations of conventional FTL drives, achieving speeds and ranges that were previously unthinkable. Valara's clawed fingers drummed rhythmically on the holographic table, her gaze intense and unwavering. And this technology is fully operational. How long until we can implement it to bolster our defenses against the Zoran Imperium's advance? Dr. Thorn's expression darkened, a somber note creeping into her tone. Unfortunately, the process of replicating the Prometheus drive is not as simple as it may seem. The technology requires a precise alignment of exotic particles and gravitational fields, a delicate balance that has taken our scientists decades to perfect. Replicating it on a large scale will take time and resources that we may not have in abundance. Counselor Lyra, the regal Asari representative, leaned forward, her brow furrowed in concern. Time is something we seem to be running out of, Dr. Thorn. The Zoran Imperium's forces continue to push deeper into our territory, and our fleets are struggling to hold them back. We need a solution, and we need it soon. Lyra's gaze hardened with determination, her youthful features etched with a resolve that belied her years. Then we must work together, pooling our knowledge and resources to overcome this challenge. Humanity has faced existential threats before, and we have always risen to the occasion, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever. Valara's lips curved into a wry, almost sardonic smile. So it would seem human. Very well, we accept your offer of cooperation. But know this, failure is not an option. The fate of the galaxy now rests on our ability to master this Prometheus technology and turn the tide against the relentless Zoran onslaught. As the War Council delved deeper into the intricate workings of the Prometheus drive, a bold, daring plan began to take shape. A last, desperate gambit that could mean the difference between salvation and utter annihilation for all the civilizations that called the galaxy home. Time was running out, but with the combined might of humanity's ingenuity and the technological prowess of the Galactic Conclave, there might still be a chance to stand against the ever-encroaching darkness. Months of frantic research, harrowing battles, and desperate struggle had taken their toll. etching deep lines of exhaustion and worry on the faces of those gathered in the Galactic Conclave's war room. But amidst the wariness, a flicker of hard-won triumph burned brightly as Lyra, the young human scientist, strode into the chamber, her eyes alight with the glow of a breakthrough. "The modifications are complete," she announced, her voice ringing with a mixture of pride and urgency. "We're ready to begin full-scale testing of the Prometheus drive." Valara, the seasoned Xenos commander, straightened in her seat, her scaled features sharpening with a renewed sense of purpose. "Excellent work, Lyra. Assemble your team and prepare for immediate deployment. Zoran, Rix, gather the best of our forces. We strike at the heart of the Zauran invasion." Councillor Zoran, the towering ocean, rumbled in agreement, his massive fist clenching with grim determination. "It's about time we take the fight to those Zauran bastards. Too long have we been on the defensive, scrambling to hold back their relentless advance." As the Conclave's fleets mobilized, Lyra watched the frenzied activity with a mixture of trepidation and hope. The Prometheus drive, their last, best chance to turn the tide of this increasingly dire conflict, had been painstakingly refined and optimized over the past grueling months. Failure was not an option. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. In the war room, Valara, Zoran, and the other council members pored over the tactical displays, mapping out the intricate details of their plan. The Zauran Imperium's forces had carved a swath of destruction through the Conclave's territory, relentlessly pushing towards the beleaguered planet of Solaris, the last bastion of resistance against the alien invaders. "If we can get the Prometheus-powered ships into position," Valara mused, her clawed fingers tracing the holographic projection, "we may be able to disrupt the Zauran's coordinated assault and buy our ground forces the time they need to fortify their defenses." Zoran nodded, his deep voice rumbling with a mixture of hope and trepidation. "It's a bold gambit, Valara, but one I fear we have little choice but to undertake. The fate of our civilizations rests on the success of this operation." Lyra stepped forward, her expression resolute. "Then we'll give it everything we've got. Humanity has faced seemingly insurmountable odds before, and we've always risen to the challenge. This time will be no different." As the final preparations were made, and the Conclave's fleets began their perilous journey towards Solaris, a palpable sense of tension and anticipation gripped the war room. The Prometheus gambit was about to be put to the ultimate test, and the future of the galaxy hung in the balance. The skies above the beleaguered planet of Solaris erupted in a dazzling display of light and fury, as the Zauran Imperium's relentless invasion force pressed their attack with unrelenting ferocity. Waves of enemy ships, their hulls gleaming with alien technology, bombarded the Conclave's defenses, intent on breaking through the last line of resistance. Amidst the chaos, a lone human frigate, its hull emblazoned with the sigil of the Galactic Conclave, emerged from the quantum slipstream, its advanced engines humming with power. Lyra stood on the bridge, her expression grim but resolute, her hands gripping the control console with unwavering determination. "All systems nominal," her co-pilot reported, his voice tinged with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "The Prometheus drive is holding. We're ready to engage the enemy." Lyra's jaw tightened, her eyes narrowing as she surveyed the unfolding battle before them. "Helm, take us in. Time to show these Zauran bastards what humanity is truly made of." The human frigate surged forward, its sleek, streamlined design slicing effortlessly through the chaos of the battlefield. Unleashing a devastating barrage of advanced energy weapons and precision-guided missiles, the Prometheus-powered vessel carved a swath through the Zauran armada, its movements agile and unpredictable. Caught off guard by the sudden appearance of the human warship and its unprecedented capabilities, the Zauran ships faltered, their meticulously coordinated assault beginning to crumble under the relentless onslaught. On the ground, Valara and Zoran led the Conclave's battered but determined forces, their morale bolstered by the arrival of the human reinforcements. With renewed vigor and a burning determination to protect their homeworlds, the alien troops pushed back against the Zauran invaders, slowly but steadily gaining ground. Lyra's eyes narrowed as she watched the enemy ships scramble to regroup, their once fearsome formations disintegrating under the constant pressure. It's working. Keep the pressure on. But even as the tide of the battle began to turn in the Conclave's favor, a new and terrifying threat emerged. The telltale distortion of a quantum slipstream opening behind the Conclave's lines heralded the arrival of a massive Zaron dreadnought, its powerful weapons primed and ready to unleash devastation upon the defenders. Valara's voice crackled over the comm channel, her tone laced with a sense of urgent desperation. "Lyra, we need that Prometheus drive of yours. Now." Lyra's jaw tightened, her mind racing as she processed the gravity of the situation. "Understood. Activating quantum jump sequence. Hold on to your seats." The human frigate disappeared in a blinding flash of light, reappearing directly in the path of the towering Zaron dreadnought. Lyra's fingers danced across the console, unleashing a devastating salvo of concentrated energy weapons and high-yield torpedoes. The mighty Zaron vessel shuddered under the relentless barrage, its shields flickering and failing. With a thunderous detonation, the dreadnought was no more, its destruction sending shockwaves through the Zaron forces and throwing their carefully orchestrated assault into complete disarray. As the battle turned in the Conclave's favor, Lyra allowed herself a small, triumphant smile. The Prometheus gambit had worked, and humanity had once again proven its mettle against the most daunting of challenges. But the war was far from over, and she knew that even greater obstacles lay ahead, testing the limits of their courage and ingenuity. The Zaron Imperium's forces, battered and demoralized, were in full retreat, their once fearsome armadas scattered and in disarray across the vastness of the galaxy. Across the liberated worlds of the Galactic Conclave, the member civilizations celebrated their hard-won victory, hailing the pivotal role played by the human scientists and their revolutionary Prometheus drive technology. In the war room of the Conclave, Valara, Zoran, and Lyra stood side by side, their expressions a mixture of sullen triumph and weary contemplation. The battle may have been won, but the cost had been high, and the looming threat of the Zaron Imperium still hung over them like a dark cloud, its shadows stretching ever longer across the stars. Valara, her scale features softening slightly, addressed Lyra with a newfound respect. "You and your people have proven yourselves worthy allies, human. Without the Prometheus drive and your unwavering determination, we would not have been able to turn the tide of this war." Lyra inclined her head, her eyes shining with a quiet pride. "It was a joint effort, Counselor. We are grateful for the opportunity to work alongside the Conclave. Together, we have shown that even the mightiest of foes can be defeated when we stand united, our collective resolve forged in the crucible of adversity." Zoran, the towering ocean, rumbled in agreement, his massive frame radiating a sense of cautious optimism. "Indeed, but we must not become complacent in the wake of this victory. The Zaron Imperium will no doubt regroup and return with even greater force, their thirst for conquest unquenched." Lyra's expression hardened, her youthful features etched with a steely determination. "Then we shall be ready, Counselor. Humanity has faced existential threats before, and we have always emerged stronger, our spirit tempered by the trials we have endured. With the combined might of the Conclave and the power of the Prometheus drive at our disposal, we will stand our ground and defend our home, no matter the cost." As the three leaders pored over the tactical displays, a newfound sense of unity and unwavering resolve filled the air. The galaxy had been forever changed by the events of the past grueling months, and the future promised to be a challenging one, fraught with uncertainty and peril. But with humanity's ingenuity and the Conclave's collective strength, they would face whatever lay ahead, united in their commitment to protect all they held dear. Valara's lips curved into a small, almost wistful smile. "So it would seem, human. The galaxy has been forever altered by your people's actions. We stand at a crossroads, with the potential for a new era of cooperation and mutual understanding, or the possibility of even greater conflict." Zoran's deep rumble echoed the sentiment, Either way, we can no longer afford to underestimate the mettle of humanity. You have shown us that even the mightiest of foes can be vanquished when the will to survive is coupled with unyielding determination. Lara's gaze swept across the war room, her expression conveying a sense of both pride and humility. Then let us move forward, counselors, and shape a future where the galaxy's civilizations stand united, their destinies intertwined. For the road ahead may be perilous, but together we shall overcome any challenge that confronts us. With newfound purpose and a renewed sense of unity, the leaders of the Galactic Conclave and their human allies turned their attention to the tasks that lay ahead, their sights set on navigating the uncharted territories of a galaxy forever transformed by the actions of a species that had proven, time and again, but the true measure of their strength lay not in their technology, but in the unbending resolve of their spirit.